I'm Dave Kaufer, and welcome to today's Marketing Minute. And today we're going to talk about social media. And in particular, we're going to talk about social media and businesses. And how many social media platforms should businesses be on? I know this is a question that we get a lot when I'm at speaking engagements. A lot of people wonder, do we really need to have a presence on more than one platform? The answer generally is yes, but there's some data to back this up. And this comes from Hubspot, which is one of the leading marketing automation, inbound marketing software companies out there. They provide a lot of really interesting info. So if you haven't already done so, I recommend reading their blog on a consistent basis. They share some great stuff. But this caught my eye, and they did a study where they actually asked consumers how many social media platforms do they expect businesses to be on. And in general, across the board, this is across 600 respondents, they said they expect them to be on about three and a half, almost four platforms. And again, it kind of depended on the gender. Women more than men expected businesses to be on Instagram and Pinterest a little bit more. But as you can imagine, the platforms that they most expected, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn were the top ones. And then there's a whole bunch that were kind of about the same. There's a big drop. Instagram was in there. As I mentioned, Pinterest. So you may be thinking, okay, wow, so consumers expect us to be on these platforms. So do consumers actually follow all these different platforms? Do they actually follow companies on these? Well, the answer is no. Actually, it turns out consumers are only following companies and brands on about 1.5 platforms rather than across the board, and you can kind of draw your own conclusions from that. HubSpot concluded that this means that maybe brands are just doing a really poor job of sharing content. They're doing too much one-size-fits-all content across different platforms, and that means it's not compelling. And that could be. Or it could also be that, frankly, consumers are only on one or two platforms, and depending on what they use it for, maybe they just use one platform like Instagram really for personal connections, and they may use something like Twitter or LinkedIn more for business. But the bottom line is that it shows that it does pay off to have a presence on multiple social media platforms. And while it may be daunting, there are a lot of great ways that you can do this, a lot of great programs out there to help you manage these different platforms. And we'll talk about that in a future post as well. But for now, the takeaway again is make sure you're on different platforms and make sure you're sharing great content. Thanks for watching.